So this video is a bit late. I should have done this a few videos ago. Whoops. Wasn't intentional, just kind of slipped my mind, but we're covering it now. So welcome back to Wildcard Workshop. Today we're going to cover uploading your mods and some other very useful information regarding that. I'm sure by now most of you have figured out how to cook and upload your mods. But we're going to learn some additional things aside from that, such as setting up secondary workshop items in your upload settings so that you can cook once but upload to multiple items. That way you can have a test version and a live version, and you can do all of your testing in the test version before pushing out to the public version, and you'll have less people yelling at you. I'll show you how to recover your workshop linkage in the event of, say, you've uninstalled the dev kit and you didn't back up your mods.db file, so you lost it and you had to make a whole new workshop item. I'll show you how to fix that so you don't actually have to make a whole new workshop item. And I'll show you how to make sure you just don't lose that information altogether going forward, what you need to back up and all that. So let's go ahead and jump into the dev kit. I'll show you where all this stuff is and how to set it up, and we'll get going. Alright, so here we are in the dev kit. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we are. We've got our Dino Shrine mod here. Now, if you don't have the files, you can download them from the last video. They're made available for download, archived, and ready to go. Once you've got it extracted and it's available in the dev kit, what you want to do is come up here to Steam Upload, and then find your mod in the list on the left here, Dino Shrine. So, first things first, your map needs to match the name of your map file here. Okay, go ahead and make sure you put that in there. And then all you have to do is hit Cook Game Mod. And this will go on, and it'll take a while. Sometimes it can take hours, depending on the size of your mod and how much of the game it reaches into. Just wait for it to go. If any errors, well, no errors should pop up if you're using the files that were downloaded from the last video. But if any errors do pop up, they should show up down here in this and in a log file, which you can find if you go into projects. This is in your dev kit directory, by the way. Go to projects, shooter game, saved, logs. And you'll see a bunch of, well, you might not see as many as I've got here, but the shooter game and shooter game 2 logs are the ones where this is being output. And you can sort that by date modified and use that to get the most recent one to look at which one specifically it was modifying during this cook. So we're going to go ahead and let that finish, and we'll come back when it's done. Alright, now that our mod is finished cooking, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this. After it's cooked, you see this uploading section. This is all of the information that is needed in order to actually upload your mod to the Steam Workshop. So first of all, there's a preview image. There are some limitations on this. Keep it low in size, and what did I have for the file size? Give me just a second here. Okay, so like this image is 90 kilobytes, and it is 256 by 256. Okay, so keep it small. It's just going to be like the preview image. And then you can upload your own screenshots for more in-depth stuff once it's actually uploaded on the workshop. So you'll select your preview image, and then you pick a title. Obviously, this is going to be the title that actually goes up on the workshop. This is going to be the one that everybody sees. So make sure that, it's descriptive of what it is. It's a good name. Now, with the description, there might be the temptation to include a bunch of information on it here before you upload it, but this is kind of finicky. You can't have any special characters in it. It'll throw an error when you go to upload. So the best thing to do is just to have like a bit of placeholder plain text here. And then after you've uploaded it, go and edit the text on the workshop. Go ahead and save that text after you've made it to a text file or something like that, so that anytime you upload the mod, you can just go in there, copy and paste, and have all your stuff back. And then we've got visibility hidden. 3 options: public, everybody can see it; friends only your friends people on your friends list can see it; and hidden, which means only you can see it. Your change notes, again, I would just edit this, put in something simple here, and then edit this after you've uploaded it on the actual Steam Workshop page. And then once these are all filled in, there's a few buttons down here. Upload will actually upload it. Reset Publisher. This will only be pushable if you have already uploaded it to the Steam Workshop. And what it does is it basically creates a new workshop ID for it. It flushes the old one and it creates a new one. So if, for instance, you wanted to make 2 workshop items, one for public and one for test, which I will show you in a moment, that is how you would do it. And then reset mod GUID. Now this one has caused some confusion for people in the past. I'm sure you've noticed that sometimes when mods update, you will get a version mismatch error when you go to connect to servers. And this is because the mod author has determined that the update requires both server and client to take this update. Otherwise, you're going to run into serious issues. So that's what this reset mod GUID is it changes the GUID. If the GUIDs do not match on both client and server when you try to connect, you will get that version mismatch error. But all of the mod versions that share the same GUID, you will be able to connect. So for example, if you had a mod where the only changes you made were client side, and they were just like visual changes to like materials or how something appears, but didn't actually change any of the functional gameplay mechanics, then you could not push that button and be fine. But in most cases, if you are making large changes or important changes to your mod, you want to push that and change the mod GUID so that that version mismatch will be shown to players. People don't like it, they complain, but the reality is that if that version mismatch isn't there, then what happens is they'll connect and the client's trying to do one thing and the server's trying to do something different, and you'll end up with crashes, you'll end up with unintended bugs, things like that wouldn't actually occur if they had updated on the server properly. So make sure to use this appropriately. In most cases, if you are making changes to mechanics or changes to any of your magic numbers, you probably want to hit this button and change your GUID. Now that we've got all of our information in there, let's go ahead and hit upload. Put in your password and username, and you'll hit accept. And you'll get a screen that pops up. Now, there is an issue occurring right now, and hopefully this will be fixed soon, where Steam Command will sometimes just show a blank screen, and it doesn't look like it's doing anything. It is actually working. In my case right now, it is waiting on my SteamGuard code. So, if you have SteamGuard enabled, it'll just sit on this black screen until you put it in. Just like that, and then you just hit enter. That's all you have to do. Okay? If you're not using SteamGuard, the black screen will appear, but it'll disappear shortly after when it finishes. Okay? The only real downside is that if an error pops up while it's on that screen, you don't really know what it is. And that's a little annoying. But hopefully that's all fixed soon. Until then, that's all you have to do is if you're using SteamGuard, just put in the code into the blank screen and hit enter, and it'll continue on. So now we just uploaded the mod to Steam. Next thing, how to set up multiple workshop items. I'll show you that real quick. So if you go into your DevKit folder, projects, shooter game, saved, you will find this mod.dp. I'm not going to open it in Notepad++, but that is what I recommend you use. So guess what I managed to do? I managed to break my mods.db file. And this is why always keep a backup. Okay, this file here under projects, shooter game, saved, mods.db. Anytime you add a new mod to your list, make sure to back this file up somewhere safe. Because it's easy to break and you can fix it. And I'm going to show you how right now, but backing it up just saves you a lot of hassle later. So let's look at that first real quick before we add our second one. So to fix it, okay, see how everything's gone now. There's nothing there. What I need is the workshop item ID. So you can go into Steam and you can find your workshop item. Give me just a second here. I'm pulling it up on my other screen. So important thing to note. Sometimes when you upload, it logs you out of Steam. It doesn't look like it logs you out, but it does. It'll say no connection at the bottom of Steam. So you might have to sign back in to get your stuff to show up properly. So once you've gotten to your workshop item, you can find your Steam ID right up here in the URL bar. It'll be right at the end. Copy. Just go back over to our document where it says item seam ID, because somebody made a typo there. Just put it in there. And then hit save. And once you're back in the kit and everything's loaded, go to Steam Upload. Find your mod, and looky there, it's back. So all you have to do is refill in this information, and you'll be good to go again. So now, if say I wanted to add a second item, go back into our mods.db, try this again. Again, I recommend using Notepad. It could have been that when I copied it, or using Notepad++, it could have been that when I copied it before, Notepad++ didn't have the right formatting, so when the file went back in, it broke. Let's see. I might have to restart the kit for that to pick up. Nope, I sure don't. Look, they're both there. So now, if we want to add a second item for test versions, all we have to do is pick one of these and hit Reset Publisher ID. Or Reset Publisher. And what that'll do is it'll remove the Steam item, the Steam Workshop ID, from that particular instance of the item in the list. And then what you can do is you can be like Dino Shrine Test. And have your test version that's hidden and your public version that isn't. Okay. Again, you can have whatever information you need here. I just recommend keeping these simple, but you can upload these separately on the same cook. Now, I lost the linkage to the cook that I did before, so I'd have to cook it again to get it to show up. But after you cook, that upload button will be valid for both of these items. That if you upload to one, you can still upload to the other again. So what you can do is on your test version, upload it first, do your testing. If it's good, go back into the kit and push to public on the same cook. And you won't have to worry about any erroneous cook errors that don't happen all of the time. And that's how you set up your cook situations. Again, remember your mods.db file, back it up somewhere safe. Don't lose it. If you end up having to uninstall the kit and you're backing up your mods, make sure to back up that file as well. It'll save you a lot of headache of having to find the Steam IDs and putting them back in and setting up your cook version or your test versions again and things like that. Now we covered uploading your mods, setting up secondary workshop items on the same cook, and recovering your mods.db in the event of losing it to uninstallation or something like that. As long as you've got those things covered, you shouldn't run into a situation where you're trying to manually build the workshop items in Steam Command like I was for a long time. That was fun. Don't do that. There's no need. Alright, so now you've got your cooker set up, you know how to upload and set up separate workshop items on the same mod folder. Showing you how to protect your mod upload settings so that you don't have to do a bunch of fix-ups later on if you have to reinstall the kit. One thing that I highly recommend that you do, if you haven't already, is learn a version control system, such as Git or Subversion, or SVN for short. These are extremely important. Not just helpful, but really important. Because as you go and you make updates on your mods, they might break. They might have really unexpected effects, and you might just want to roll back the changes altogether. And using something like Git will allow you to do that without having to do a whole bunch of manual removals. You can just revert the files back to an earlier state. So if you haven't already, I personally recommend Git. I like it better, but there are other version control systems out there, so find one that works for you. And learn how to use it, because it will save you so many migraines. Just so many headaches saved. Just trust me on that. But yeah. So now you should be able to, get your mods going just fine. In the next episode, we are going to look at the UE4 save game system. This is an alternate way to serialize information in the dev kit. We'll also do a brief show of how to save your variables to make them persistent. But we'll probably roll that all into one video if I can fit it into time, or it might move into two. But in the meantime, happy modding.